Welcome back to the Knowledge Boys podcast with me.
And me.
He's back.
I'm back.
Was Cleethorpes nice?
It's alright.
You went to Grimsby as well, didn't you?
Well, it's right next to Grimsby. And it's true what they say, it is grim in Grimsby.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful.
It's like Chernobyl and Hull had a child, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. The stadium's alright though, the Grimsby Town Stadium.
Yeah.
Proud of myself, because that's another stadium that I've technically been to.
But you haven't been in it.
Well, I'm outside it. Counts.
I've been outside a lot of things. That sounds weird, doesn't it? It's a bit suspect.
Yeah, you know, like his house
Mm-hmm.
and buildings in general.
Buildings. You don't walk past the Statue of Liberty and say, point it, oh.
Been there, yeah, you do.
No, you don't, because you can go in it. You don't say...
You've still been to the Statue of Liberty.
If you go to the island, fair enough. If you say, like, in Manhattan,
if
you
I
can see it.
stood on the outskirts of New York City with the sign, I'd say, been there. Even if I was in whatever town or city's next to New York City.
Yeah, but you haven't been there if you're near the sign, because you're not there. You're just near the sign.
You put the sign of New York City. So you go into York and it says, welcome to York.
Yeah, but that means you're entering York. You haven't entered the Grimsby
because you're still pretty much
Stadium.
inside and you're on A64. You're not in
Stop
York.
saying road names to back up your argument. I've missed this. It's good to have you back. Can't bicker as much with Neve.
She gets annoyed.
She does get annoyed. She goes, "Ear right," and then punches me. Throws things in a violent manner.
Well, all I'm saying is, as soon as you pass the sign that says you're in there, you're in there. Whether you're in town centre or not.
Was there a sign outside the Grimsby Town Stadium saying, "Welcome to Grimsby Town Stadium"?
Says it.
Beyond this point.
Young's Fish and Chips, main sponsor. Grimsby Town FC, Blendell Park.
We're not sponsored by Grimsby or their football club or Young's either, for that matter. If we were, that would be good. I'd take Young's as a sponsor.
Wear it on our shirts.
Yeah,
We'd have to buy a Grimsby shirt, wouldn't we?
Yeah, no.
Why?
Because I'd just
It's an alright shirt.
I'd get my Leeds top and tape it
It's
over
like
it.
BTEC Newcastle.
Yeah, I know.
Like really BTEC.
It's BTEC Hull. That's
Well,
what
I was
Grimsby
there
is.
on match day
Mm-hmm.
when they played Forest Green, the vegan club,
The vegan club.
and they scored the best own goal I've seen.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was good. That was funny. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. We mentioned football then.
Yeah, people are going to get triggered, but it's a highlight of what happened when I was in Cleethorpes.
Yeah.
Because Cleethorpes itself,
Mhm.
really nice, proper nice seaside town. Then you get to beach, and you just stood outside at Humber.
And it stinks, doesn't it?
It stinks, and it's murky. And I'm almost certain I've reacted to it. Because my toes kind of went a bit red after I didn't water.
Embarrassed.
Well, yeah. But it's, like, Cleethorpes is, like, right on the end of the estuary, but it's still the Humber. It's not actually the sea.
It's shit, isn't
You
it?
can see other sides, so it don't count.
That's a bit shit, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, anyway, so you had fun. You had
Yeah, alright.
a nice getaway. You had a week off work.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the key.
Where I've been grafting, doing a lot of hours.
I just came back and had to turn down overtime because it was for Saturday. I'm busy.
Would you like me to tell you an embarrassing story of what I did at the weekend?
Yes.
You'll enjoy this. I think it was this weekend. It was relatively. It was at some point. I'm not going to give any names because that
Was it when you went out?
It might have been. I genuinely can't remember. I was very drunk, but I know this did happen. It happened. It happened on a night out within the last month, right? And you will find this very entertaining. Fairly good-looking lass. I had purchased said lady a beverage, an alcoholic beverage,
All right.
because it's gentlemanly.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I was genuinely being nice. I wasn't. I was just being nice. Like, she didn't have a drink. I was like,
Yeah,
would you
it's
like
still
a
not
drink?
gentlemanly, is it? It's just
Well, yeah.
not really.
It's not like, oh, when you want a drink, you just leg, is it?
Yeah, but you didn't walk up to her and say, "Oh, my fair lady."
Right here, right. I'm not.
Fair maiden.
Shush.
Would you like a beverage?
And then waddle up to the bar. Barkeep, another. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, Neve listens to my stories. So I bought her a drink, and then, as a friend of ours, sponsor of the show, Lobley would say, because he is a sex fiend, would say I was, quote, in there. So I was like, I didn't think so.
Right.
But I was like, there's a possibility.
You were courting.
Actually, that's a lie. I did think there was a possibility. Now, what is one thing that someone would do in order to
what you would do, or just
no.
someone in
What
general?
what I would do is something completely stupid, which is the reason I'm telling the story. What would someone do who had confidence, who was suave, preferably good with
I don't know, because I would do what you did.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that
Whatever
doesn't
that
help.
may be.
We'll ring Tom. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to. I don't know. This is.
It's ironic, this podcast, isn't it? We're
What?
broadcasting ourselves onto the ether, but can't talk to humans.
Yeah. I mean, that's the reason we're doing it, really. Let's be honest. Instead of doing something smooth, which I don't know what that would be.
I'll have what she's having.
But I mean, for a start,
In an 80s movie, that'd be brilliant.
that line.
Yes.
It is from an 80s film. It's from When Harry Met Sally.
It's from all kinds of 80s movies. That's the point.
Yeah, true. So if, say, like, I'd have done something cool, I might have, be meeting up with this girl for a drink later on at another point in time. What happened was, Dylan, I made a very weird joke about sneezing. Now,
Go on.
right, I essentially went to I was talking to her, and someone looked like they were going to sneeze. Right.
Yeah.
Now she didn't see this man about to sneeze, so I said, "Oh, looks like someone's had some pepper." And now she went, "What?" Because she hadn't seen the man nearly about to sneeze. Now
That's not even a good joke.
it's not. It's fucking useless, isn't it? It's not even. It's,
Someone's had some pepper.
oh, someone's had some pepper.
What's it mean?
Nothing, because obviously pepper makes you sneeze. It's not funny, no, but that's not the point.
Someone seasoned the chips.
Who puts pepper? What kind of fiend puts pepper on chips?
Salt and pepper chips.
It's just the salt's the key part. You can't just put pepper. No one puts just pepper on chips.
Alright, sodium oil then. I have pepper on sodium oil, it's nice.
Yeah, I do. I put it on pretty much everything, but
So do I.
but not chips, Dylan. God's sake, behave yourself. You're not in Cleethorpes anymore, Dylan. You're back in the real world. Anyway, so then her response was what? And then what I could have just said was, "Oh, sorry," and then continued with the conversation. But I went, "Him there," and just pointed. She stared at this man, right, who waved awkwardly back because we were looking. And she's like, "What?" It's like, "Oh, he was about to sneeze." She's like, "Right." I was like, and what I should have just said, that what? I went, "Oh, I don't know what the fuck I'm on about. What were you saying?" But I didn't. I continued to dig, and dig I did, Dylan. I'm at the centre of the earth right now. It's toasty in here. And it's just really awkward. And then rather than do anything, what did I do? I just walked off. I just went... just left. I just kind of looked around.
Runs away.
And went outside.
Oh.
I kind of just looked and went... and left.
No.
Yeah, so, yeah. A good friend of ours, mutual friend of ours, the sponsor of the show. We don't even need to say his name anymore. He gets enough shout outs. And he always says when you go on a night out, because he likes people to be happy, which is a good thing. He's a nice guy. He wants everyone to be happy, pleased. And he keeps on trying to, make me pull in a club, which obviously, as you and our listeners have just heard, it ain't gonna fucking happen.
No, like we both attempted with the same person at one point and both just kind of stood
When
there
was that?
and then left.
When was this? Oh, yeah!
Both
Mm-hmm.
were...
We were both like, "You have a crack," and then now you, and then we were both like, "We are bad at this.
Yeah.
It's not going well."
I went to go say bye and just kind of stood there for
Yeah,
way
you did.
too long and went, "Bye," and then ran away as fast as possible.
Yeah. See, we're two very, very awkward white men. Is essentially what we are, and we can't really. Yeah, this is why we talk about things like films and music, because we understand these concepts. Getting laid, on the other hand, I mean, that's out of our reach.
Yes.
That's like trying to explain electricity to a caveman. It's just not going to work. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Aye. Yeah. So exciting news that I bought a pair of Doc Marten boots,
Oh, did you?
and they are lovely. I shall
Them rainbow ones?
No.
Oh.
They were limited edition ones, so I of course had to buy them because they might not be there next time. They were called OT ones. Look them up if you're at home, and they are very nice. They've kind of got like a Chinese mural in like grey and black on them,
Okay.
and they are surprisingly comfortable for Doc Martens.
Oh, why? A doc's not meant to be
Now, when you're wearing them in, they're supposed to be kind of tough because they are just, big leather boots.
Right.
They are designed for, they are good walking shoes, though, because, they were designed for people who couldn't walk properly.
Okay.
By a man called...
Oh, it works for you then, doesn't
Dr. Martin, yes, because I can't walk properly.
You waddle like a penguin.
I do have a waddle. It's because I have a back problem.
It used to be worse.
It did used to be worse. And then I developed a back problem, even worse than before. And now I have like a boomerang back, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because I stand up straight and it looks normal. But then, if I go swimming or anything, it looks like, I've been, bent out of shit, like a twig. It's a bit odd. Anywho, enough about me being the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Have you found the boots?
No, I wasn't looking for them.
Alright, they're only upstairs and I'll show them. And they're on the ceiling. I also bought a large yellow hoodie from Urban Outfitters because I have a problem.
You have too much money if you're shopping at Urban Outfitters. How much?
£49.
For a hoodie?
Right, it's not. It's as big as a duvet, in fairness, and it's.
Oh, so you got a hipster hoodie?
Yes, I did. It's
Is
very
that too small or too big.
It's
if you're
bright.
A hipster?
Yes, it's bright yellow and too big for me.
Could be all right.
Because I wore my sunglasses to town when I had an appointment. I won't say where because I don't want everyone knowing where my appointment is on a Friday. This sounds like I'm a prostitute now.
I know where his appointment on Friday is.
So I walked in, the receptionist, Anna, lovely woman, and now I walked in because it was raining. I thought I'll put my hoodie on. So it was bright yellow, and I had my sunglasses, Puma, bright green, sponsor me, plus. And I walked in.
You blinded Anna.
Now I walked in.
Love
with
Anna.
Anna's lovely, isn't she? Well, shout out Anna, legend. And I had my sunglasses on and a bright yellow hoodie. And I walked in, I went, "You alright?" And she just went, "I'm loving this." I'm just like, I'm not. I can't see anything. It's far too bright. It's like, why didn't you just take the sunglasses off then? Because it's not light out.
It would blind me.
I just looked like, because I was really tired, and when I'm tired, I can't really see well. But I've lost my actual glasses, so I have to wear my prescription sunglasses. So everything's dark, so I still can't see. But I don't walk into as many objects; just people is what I'm walking into.
Or shadows, as they seem to be.
Shadows, yes. And we're off to go see the Ratings again, Dylan.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yes, we are indeed, because that's a word I'm saying now, apparently. Yeah. Lots of gigs coming up.
I'm only... Oh, are we doing Out About Blossoms?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're also touring in December.
We'll sort that out.
December could be good.
We'll sort that out after the podcast.
Because I have some disposable income at the minute.
I have disposable income.
Because I didn't have to pay to go to Holland anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're not going to Holland anymore. I think we briefly touched on that, but the trip has fallen through. Mainly because...
I couldn't get it off work anyway.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll buy the tickets. And then there was like, oh, they're not available.
One person got back to me out of the two. Said that they couldn't do it because they're leaving.
Well, that's nice that there's
at least they got back to me.
Yeah.
But the other one, Neve knows him. Jack.
Absolutely.
Ginger Jack.
Yeah, this Jack. Yeah. You a wanted man.
I'm not going to name drop your surname because that's a bit harsh.
That is harsh.
But that's
Don't send all 27 of our followers after him, Dylan.
But he's a lovely fella, to be fair. He cares for his grandma when he's not at work. He's
good for him.
Good for him.
A good Samaritan.
Yeah, it's really nice. But he can't message me.
Piece of shit, Jack.
To say, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy," or yeah, sure.
Next level bastardry. And speaking of work, I finish my job on the 26th of this month. It is not this coming Sunday.
26th.
That's
13 days.
Yes, it is. I have one full weekend left, and that's not this weekend because I have a Saturday off. Because I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased with that. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I've got any days off for the rest of you.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. In fairness, I don't technically have it off because I swapped it, but yeah. Also, I watched a really shit film last night.
Oh, yeah?
It was called The Final Countdown, and it did not have that theme tune, and it was made in a time, I believe, when that song was out. So that's not acceptable behaviour anyway. Martin Sheen and Kirk Douglas are in it. Now that's what I thought, and it's a time travel movie. You know, I love time travel movies. They're brilliant. This one got the premise of a time travel film and made it completely pointless. They didn't really need to go back in time. One of them needed to. One person needed to. Anyone else being there had no effect on the plot.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it's like shit Back to the Future.
Yes. what happens is they're on an aircraft carrier and they're leaving Pearl Harbor in 1980, which when the film was made was current day. And then they go through a time wormhole and they land on December the 6th, 1941 in the same place.
Pearl Harbor
and Pearl
was attacked.
Yes, and that happened on the 7th of December, I believe.
Right.
So they know that it's coming. And they're doing the age-old dilemma of, do we stop this?
No.
Now, there you go. No, is the thing that they should have quickly realised what the plot
because
should.
Otherwise, they would lose the war because it'd just be us, and America wouldn't have got involved.
Exactly. But none of them think like this. They say we are here to defend America, past, present, or future. And I'm like,
fuck off.
okay. Now we've hit bullshit territory, and we're only 10 minutes in. And then it proceeds to get worse. The guy who... Now, this, to be fair, it was historically very accurate. Like, they got all of the... The reason I watched it was my stepdad downloaded it and said it was a very, very good film, and he gave me the film to watch. Now, the reason he enjoys the film is because it's an hour and a half of plane porn, and he is a plane spotter.
Right.
Now, all of the planes are...
All like the kamikaze planes and stuff.
Yeah, they're all Cold War planes, and also it's the most Cold War action movie you've ever watched, because it's like, we are America, look at our guns. That is literally the plot of the film, and it's not good. Oh no, he recorded it for me, that was it. And then he watched it and loved it. And then it's a lot of... There must be about 20 minutes of footage in that film that's literally just planes taking off, which means it's a long-ass film because of it, because it's not entertaining if you don't like planes. You only need to see one take off, and then they can all be in the sky. It's called editing people.
Yeah.
And Martin Sheen is... I don't know, I guess he's like... Is the Navy equivalent of a secret shopper. He's gone in to look at things and see how it's done.
Right.
And then, of course, time travel happens.
Not like secret shoppers.
I don't. They're all cunts. Anyway, they're literally paid to make my life difficult.
Well, we passed and I got a bonus, but I still don't like them.
We failed and I served him. That's a story for a different day.
I'm going to assume I didn't serve them because I'm not above and beyond. I don't even speak to people normally unless they speak to me.
I was probably hungover. Anyway. So, this film... is very, very bad because, obviously, like you've just said, no, you just shouldn't. You shouldn't change the past. And, of course, because, you know, it's a film and the plot says so, one of the people on board is writing a book about the attack. Because there aren't enough books about Pearl Harbor things. And he's the second in command. What happens is there's a boat that gets shot. And this is a bit that could have been such a good part of the film. A guy who was Senator Sam something, and I've forgotten his surname, which doesn't help. He was on like the war committee essentially, and he knew Japan were going to invade. He had a feeling, he had a gut feeling, and then he mysteriously went missing. And what's believed is because he had a boat and he lived in Hawaii, he went out on his boat and the Japanese killed him.
Right.
But he went missing. No one actually knows 100% what happened. But that takes that, and he is on the boat and they shoot his boat. But these future people are like, oh, well, they're just civilians. We'll save them. It's not going to be anything. And it's him. And if he'd have lived, he'd have gone on to be the vice president and then taken over after Truman, after FDR died. So that's like, wow, that is actually cool time travel filmmaking. And what do? They make him the biggest arsehole on the entire fucking film.
Because of course.
Yeah, and... his assistant is a pain in the arse. She's literally just there so she can be a love interest for one of the soldiers for no apparent reason, because all she does is whine. And they have a dog called Charlie. Now, this dog is by far the worst part of this film, because this dog accidentally gets 5 people killed and goes missing. And for some reason, all this woman gives a shit about is the dog. Oh no, Charlie, please just let it drown. No, they rescue it. Then it causes problems on the helicopter.
Don't let the dog drown.
The dog is a bastard. It might right. The dog is the biggest threat to America since Pearl Harbor happened. It is this most asshole of an animal that has ever lived. So that annoyed me, and it's just a bad film because like they get a cool element like that. You get someone who is alive and could have changed the course of history, and you just met them a dickhead who doesn't do anything at all and accidentally blows up a helicopter and kills himself. So completely gets... yeah, because he tries to hijack a helicopter with a flare gun. Great plan. And then he shoots a flare gun inside a helicopter. Clearly they don't know how flare guns work because the helicopter explodes like a nuclear bomb. And you're like, oh, just get fucked.
I mean, there'd just be a bit of smoke inside the helicopter.
Yeah.
Unless there was an open fuel source.
Yeah. I think like when films do that, when they go back in time, like Back to the Future did it the best. I think anyone's ever done it. Is you have to beat people over the head with the fact that you are in the past, or it doesn't, or you don't get anything out of it.
Like the high school reunion or like prom or whatever.
Yeah.
It is. And you've got the old cars and the clothes, and they just beat you over the head with the music and
whereas this film
everything.
takes place completely on the aircraft carrier, which would have been good if they'd have just been on the aircraft carrier and tried to get home with occasional drop-ins from the Japanese. However, they never see the mainland, which is kind of the point. You want to see that, you want to see what it's like.
Yeah.
Maybe you send that guy back. Sorry, my cat's screaming at me. Like the point is that it should be like, I like time travel films where you feel like, it's a fish out of water thing.
Yeah.
But they don't make it seem like a fish out of water, because even the people who are from World War II who get put on the aircraft carrier have literally no reaction to the fact that they're in a future war vessel. They have no reaction. They're like, oh, are you guys from the 80s? Okay, so yeah, more about this war that's going to be like, no, fucking, whoa. You wouldn't be like, oh, current events. You'd be like, how the fucking hell did you get here? Nothing. Nada. Not a single thing. And obviously this guy is a historian on Pearl Harbor, one of the main characters. He knows everything. And they bring it up once. One of them goes, how do you know that? And then he leaves it. You would not leave it. All he says is, I'm afraid I can't give you the information at this point. Then he goes, I want to radio the show. Fuck off. You'd be like, shut up, you dickhead, tell me. And there's nothing. And then, I mean, it's a very, very average action film. It's not particularly entertaining. It's very long. And it was one of those films where, like, the promise it shows is so good.
And then it's just so underwhelming.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I've seen, I've had shits with more enthusiasm than Kirk Douglas acts in this film. Bad movie. But the way they could have made it better was they go to the mainland. Now, the whole point is, I thought the ship was going to get damaged coming through. So they're weakened. So all they have is the knowledge of the future, which I think works best in time travel. They don't have a way home. They're trying to find the way back. That's always the good bit.
Yeah.
And having the knowledge is just as good as having a giant gun with planes on it, which is an aircraft carrier, essentially. And what do they do? Oh, that's right. They completely waste the whole... You might as well have not bothered travelling in time, really. That is a film...
Why, do they not even change anything?
No. Nothing changes.
So what? So they literally don't even have to make the film?
No. The only thing that changes is the historian guy who's on the boat, the historian soldier man, he gets marooned on an island for reasons with the assistant woman who written in, I don't think she had a character name, it was just love interest B. And then them two fall in love and they're in the back of a limousine. Martin Sheen gets off of a boat. And then he goes, oh my God, it's you. And then it's the world's shittest makeup to make him look like an old man. And he goes, we've got a lot to talk about, sir. And they get in the car and drive off. Now, that bit would have been interesting.
So he didn't go back to the future.
Yeah.
He stayed there and lived.
He went the long way around, yeah. Which is good. I like that. But the way they did it was fucking rubbish.
Yeah.
I don't like being beaten over the head with stuff in films. Like, I think subtlety's good, but with time travel, you have to, or there's no point doing it.
So what age did he go to the 40s?
He was about 30. So he was in his like late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
With his wife who didn't look any older. And the dog was like... And then all they make the shittest joke ever. Because for some reason Martin G's like, I'm going to keep the dog. Like, don't keep the dog. Kill the fucking dog. It's annoying.
Don't kill the dog.
You haven't seen it, Dylan.
Send it to the RSPCA.
It's like if Lassie was a nonce.
Send it to Dogs Trust.
Like.
They will train the dog
and then
to not be a bastard.
This dog runs into the limo as if you didn't need further proof that the fact that the people in this mysterious limousine that was hinted at the beginning of the film aren't going to be these two. You fucking know they are as soon as you see them on screen. Right? You just know it because it's too obvious. And what does one of the crew members say? Looks like you got a 40-year-old dog. Fuck off. That's what he should have said to him. Should have kicked him into the sea and get fucked. That is not funny. That is a shit joke. At least make it clever, like mine about sneezing. Full fucking
looks like
circle.
your dog's been having some pepper.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, I hate myself. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. It was, and also, I didn't go to there's a thing in Leeds at the minute called Propaganda at the Warehouse, and it is £1 a drink on a Saturday for the whole summer. So till the end of the month.
So what we're saying on Saturday?
We're going to Warehouse for
This
£1 a
Saturday?
drink, yes. And I'm going to go once again to work incredibly hungover.
Yeah, we'll go to Leeds game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Warehouse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool.
Everyone at work laughed at me on Sunday as well because I went drinking on Saturday. Right. And I was very drunk, and I got home about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Go out. I couldn't be bothered.
You could not be bothered. And to be fair, you were working, so that was the smart decision.
I was working. I was knackered.
I was incorrect.
I wasn't in the frame of mind, so I didn't go.
I needed a drink, so I went and had fun. And
Well, I've heard about the night, and it don't sound too fun.
Oh, there were elements that were shit, but overall, I had an enjoyable
let's
time.
not go into it, but it's the best.
I in no way partake in anything illegal on a night out, and it was, there was nothing at all illegal at all.
Oh, I've not heard about
fun.
this.
No, and you won't, Dylan, because I don't want our listeners getting into drugs. Just say no, kids. Anyway, so I had lots of drink. I was very, very drunk.
Did you stab someone?
No. No, he stabbed me first. Anyway. So I got home at 3 o'clock, and Neve's mum, shout out Jane, avid listener of the show, gave us a lift home, because I was like, I'll go early because I have work. And then we had a flat tyre, so about 2:30 in the morning we're there in McDonald's in the car park, pumping up a tyre. But I got a double cheeseburger, so I was pretty happy with that. You need food when you're pissed.
Especially a double.
Yeah. Indeed.
Love a double when you're pissed.
Mm-hmm. So 3 o'clock in the morning I went to sleep. 7:30 I had to be up for work. So I got a good 4.5 hours sleep. Fell asleep in the shower. Woke up again at 8:30. So I'd been an hour in the shower, which was already quite annoying for everyone else in the house.
Do you know what I did?
What?
I went to bed at about 11.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up at 8. Went to work. Was in a hell of a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't particularly tired.
Well, that's good. That's a nice change.
Yeah.
Anyway, my brain fell out of my ass about midway through my shift. God, that was horrible. It was really not fun. I was like, I'm fine. I only had a hangover for about an hour because I think I was still drunk when I went to work, in all honesty. But it wore off quick thanks to my youth and the fact that I had a lot of food. And I put my head, because all of the things at work are designed for people who are basically, well, I'm not going to beat around the bush, with dwarfism. That the sink reaches my knees. It is that low down. Yeah. So I have to, I feel like there's a lot more oxygen when I go all the way down to the sink. And as soon as I pulled my head away, but my face was still down by the sink. I was like, oh, shit.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I waddled out, and then my mate Sophie at work, shout out Soph, looked at me and went, "You alright, mate?" And I repeated the line. I think my brain just fallen out of my arse, and rather than being sympathetic, she just laughed at me. Yeah, and then, the people who I don't like at work, you know who you are. I'm not going to say her name. She doesn't deserve to hear it. There's only one person at work who listens to this, and he knows who I'm on about. And she went, "Well, you shouldn't go out on a school night." Just looked at her and went, "I've got to have a life." God! Yeah, and then Chris at work said, "Oh, well, I went to sleep at 4 and I'm alright." I was like, "It's not a competition, Chris. I'm very drunk right now. Leave me alone." And then I had a lot of food, so I was alright. I always get the work meal deals and they're fucking disgusting.
What, like a sarnie, a bag of crisps and a Red Bull?
I get the fruit, and I don't get the Red Bull. I don't drink energy drinks. I get what?
I'm gonna be instead of crisps, I'm gonna get fruit because I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna have sarnie and some fruit, and then add a Red Bull.
Nah, innocent smoothies, mate.
Just
innocent.
completely negate the fact that I'm having fruit.
Yeah. And then because I don't get paid enough and don't get a discount at work. That's right, Sainsbury's. Get your fucking act together. I haven't worked for 3 months. This discount card.
Well, what's your meal deal price?
£3.
Ours has gone
50,
up.
£3.50.
Yeah, ours is
actually.
£3.50.
Yeah, but mine's always £4 though because I get cheap chocolates. We always have some bars reduced to 50p.
Mine's normally about a £5 because I'll get a sarnie, a pasty, a bag of crisps, a Red Bull, and a water, and then spend way too much money on food. Because you know me, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I spend way too much.
You get a foot-long sausage roll as well.
Sometimes when we've got them.
Yeah. I'll say this very quickly to end the show.
But they're £1, by the way.
Oh.
Or £2.
I watched Come Down With Me yesterday because there was nothing on.
Because it's a banger of a TV show.
It is actually.
It's
It's very underrated. I
love
feel. It was one of the ones, and it was perfect because I got episode 1 of a 5. Legendary, just as the meme.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Mum, get the kettle on." Could I
listen
be
to
more
some
rock and roll?
Dave Lamb
Yeah.
sarcastic narration.
They were brilliant. They were in Wales, so I was a bit at first. Now, all of them,
I like Wales.
all of them had their positive points. One of them was a very, very attractive lady.
Right.
Nicola Steele. Google image search.
It's not
One of them was a guy, and I can't remember his name, and I wish I did because he was brilliant. He was like John Lydon, but gay and Welsh. That's Johnny Rotten, for those who don't know. And he was mental, and it was brilliant. I watched a great one. And the gay guy had a big bite of chicken and said, "Oh, I've got a mouthful of bird," to which all the women around the table went, "Oh, that's the first." And I really enjoyed that. That was my favourite part of the whole show. And obviously Dave Lamb absolutely rinsing
He's
everyone.
brilliant.
Imagine being paid to just rinse people. That would be good. What are you doing? Dylan?
But I've just found out something that I don't want to find out.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, someone died, I assume, of cancer.
Well, this is the end of the show.
Well, it's not my fault.
Well,
I
that's
googled it, and then it says, "Come down with me."
Yes, I know
contestant
that one. Yes, I've seen that.
dies after battle,
Yes, it's sad. I know, but like,
and that's all I get.
we don't end with mourning. We begin with it and cheer people up. Okay, do you want to mention Barry Chuckle as well? But actually, yeah, that's a good way to end, because Barry Chuckle was a legend.
He was a massive part of my childhood.
It was a massive part of everyone's childhood. So we'll end with Barry Chuckle, actually, because Barry Chuckle was a fucking legend.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Baz. Did you see what they did as well at the Rotherham game? We
Yeah,
run
I
over a
think
bit.
yeah.
To me, to you on the 73rd minute for a full minute, and that's fucking delightful. That I bet you were chuffed with that.
Yeah, we've got I hope Leeds do a tribute, because we're playing them on Saturday. Rotherham.
Yeah, we might. I don't think we will. if
I
I'm
hope
honest.
we do.
It would be nice if we did, but they've had the tributes now, so I don't think they will.
Yeah, true. They
Yeah.
put it up on. They had a shirt that they put on Twitter as well, and it just said "To you, Barry."
Oh, that's sweet. That's nice, yeah. So, R.I.P. to an absolute legend. Sorry for ending on a somber note. But do you know what? Do you know what would really cheer you up if you went back and listened to the last episode of the podcast? If you haven't already,
I'm sure it
Ooh,
would.
I
I'm
bet
not in
it
it,
would.
so that's a bonus.
Yeah. And if you don't already, follow us on Twitter because
At YT
_boys, no capitals. You can also
BOIS.
Google. You can also just
Google
Twitter
Knowledge
search Knowledge Boys and it'll come up. If you do enjoy this, subscribe for more sweet Knowledge Boy action. That sounded far less pornographic in my head. So until next time, stay informed, people. Goodbye.
See you.